What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 5 of Blade Talk, where I share my thoughts and opinions on some current Blade topics and updates. So, first up, there's been some leaked pictures of a potential collaboration between Them Skates and Weekend Skateboards, which will make it the first boot that's a collaboration with the skateboard company. I don't know where the collab came from, but I think it's cool. I think anything cross branding with other sports and other organizations is great. I don't think it being a skateboard company is going to do any damage to the reach of rollerblading. If anything, it's just going to put it in a positive light for other people and introduce it to other people, because it's a good way to get them skates into more skate shops that aren't just blader owned shops. If anyone knows, back in the day, we used to have blade boards and skates in New York and in Jersey, and there's tons of other skate shops that used to carry everything, not just one sport. And I think it needs to get back to that, because that's the only way people are going to see it in a different light than what we show them. One thing I will say about this collab is that it features graphics on the bottom of the sole plates. Um, and anyone that knows anything about, skate companies recently, Mesmer has definitely broke into the industry with that. It's a big selling point for Mesmer. And I don't think it's in good taste to do that, because it kind of just seems like you're jumping on the wave. I know John Julio knows of this. He knows that Mesmer does have them on the plates. I don't know if they really care if they're doing it, because it's only a matter of time before another company did try it. But I just feel it was a little tacky. Even the graphics itself, the way it's put on there is a little tacky. It's just thrown on there. So that's my only like negative on this collab. Because other than that, I think the boot looks great. I think the concept is dope. I like the dog on the back of the cuff. I don't think they should do the graphics on the bottom of the skate, because it's gonna come. It just is a little tasteless compared to like the way Mesmer does it. And I think one thing that's cool is the uniqueness about our companies. Everyone kind of has their own vibe, and I feel like if we start just biting off of each other, it's just gonna kind of water everything down and make it a big competition instead of helping grow the community. But in the same light, it could be something positive. It could be just Mesmer started the trend and people are gonna start doing it. Like I said, it was only a matter of time. So, take that with a grain of salt, in my opinion. But, other than that, I think the boot looks great, and I'm actually looking forward to it. And I would like to skate that boot because of the colors. I think the color scheme is dope. There's very rarely, if any, orange skates out there. And especially it's like an infrared orange. So it really pops. And, as a visual person, and I see footage and clips, that's what attracts me the most. Is like, if your skates are popping, it's going to attract my eyes to your feet, which is going to make me pay attention to what you're doing. So that it's dope. It's a dope color scheme, and I'm looking forward to see how this unfolds. So next up, this past weekend, Frankie Morales announced his new game, Frankie's World, at the Frankie Morales Invitational. Um, I mentioned it on the episode before this that I thought it was a video game, and I was correct. It just was given video game vibes, and it just seemed like the right move uh, for anybody to make right now. The game is not what I thought it was going to be, but I did say I didn't think it was going to be a jump and grind skater game, and it's not. It seems like an open world shooter, challenge based game similar to like Cyberpunk, Grand Theft Auto, games like that. Um, and I do feel that it's the right thing to do. I don't think just a skating game would have really been successful right now. But the way gaming is right now and all the online stuff and how everything is just expanding, I think putting it in a world where it fits into what's going on now, it fits into what people are into now. So it's going to expose skating in a way that it never has before. And I agree with that. I know a lot of people are a little disappointed because they thought it was just going to be a skater game, and I get it. I grew up playing Tony Hawk and Dave Mirra, Aggressive Inline, Just Set Radio, all that. But I think this is what we need. I think this is what's needed now in that world. And in the same light, if you feel that way, then try to make a skater game. Go out and really try to make what you're looking for. I think a lot of people need to stop, jumping on this hate bandwagon and kind of downplaying anything that's against what they think it should be, because in all honesty, if that's what you want it to be, go out and do it yourself. Like, go out and try to make it happen. I mean, there's a lot of people talking a lot of shit about a lot of things, and I think there's not a lot of action being taken. So If you're disappointed in something or you're not looking forward to something, do something to change that for yourself. People are trying their best. People are trying to do things different, and it seems like people just don't want to receive that well, and I just don't understand that. But congratulations to Frankie Morales. I'm super hyped for the game. I'm super hyped to see how it unfolds, and I'm looking forward to it. So on that note, it brings me to today's topic. I wanted to talk about competitions and judging competitions and the controversy around that, because I've been hearing a lot, not only from this weekend but previous competitions, that everyone kind of feels that judging is a little unfair and one-sided. And I get it. I get a lot of people's opinions. I also get the aspect of being on the other side. It's not easy to judge a competition, especially when everyone has their own opinions on what's good, what's not good, what's a hammer, what's not a hammer. Competition scenarios are a little different. I mean, I grew up going to street competitions, and I've also grown up seeing, park competitions and ASA competitions on TV and the X Games and everything, and it's very different. I mean, a street competition is basically everyone just going off for a minute or two, and best trick wins, of every round. And that can get very tiring and very dangerous very fast. You can blow yourself out really quick. I mean, injuries used to happen all the time. And yes, it really brought the skating level to a high point, but it did get messy. A lot of those competitions were very messy. Then on the other hand, you have like ASA style competitions and X Game style competitions, which are great, but they're mostly like a run that you practiced all day, which might not be the best run in the world, but you're just trying to get the right amount of points in front of the judges to move on to the next thing, which is cool and a little more fair, but at the same time, it gets very bland and very boring very fast. It gets repetitive, and people who aren't really into the technicalities of stuff don't know what's going on. They just want to see some cool shit. So what I've seen in recent days is the way the competitions are is a little bit of both. It has a little bit of a street competition vibe, but the organization of park competitions, and that's dope. And I feel that judges get a bad rap. I think people see clips, and in the world that we are seeing more clips from people's live feeds than we are seeing from the actual competition. You know, people are quick to pass judgment before they know the whole story. And one thing this weekend was the Bladies competition at the Frankie Morales Invitational. Some people feel that one person should have won and the other person's winning trick wasn't a banger. But I don't want to really say names because I have a lot of respect for both of those skaters. Um, I see both angles. I see the competition angle. I see the skaters angle. And I think what people underappreciate sometimes is the physical shit you're putting your body through during a competition. Like, one of the tricks people are, saying, oh, the person stepped on or handed onto it. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, we saw the clips where you're right. But that same person was killing street sections way before you were even stepping onto ledges. And the other person in question is an amazing skater. I'm a big fan of her skating. But again, like, I wasn't a judge. I didn't see everything. I saw good tricks from both people. And I can't say who deserves to win, who didn't. I don't know what they were judging on. It's whatever. But like, as far as like the stepping on and the standard in the competition, I mean, I agree. Stepping on and handing on doesn't count. But it was also something that seemed like it was in the moment. And sometimes when you're in the moment, you're not thinking about all that. You're just thinking about doing it, getting it in, and moving on to the next trick. And if it counted, it counted. If it didn't, it didn't. You're just trying to have fun and put out the best show you can. Because what people don't realize is you're still putting on a show. And like, we as skaters look at it one way, but like spectators are looking at it a whole nother way too. They're not looking at she handed on to the rail or she stepped onto the rail. They're looking at it as she did the drop rail. Like, they're not looking at it as the technical points. And I know that's what the competition's for, but you gotta kind of have that balance. You gotta have that balance. I mean, I've seen other competitions too that a lot of guys are like, oh well, the judging was whack or the skating wasn't up to par and this and that. But it's like, that's really up to you and how you feel about that, because everyone's different. Every competition's different. Spots are different. People skate differently at under different circumstances. So I don't think what may be easy for you and how you look at it may be different for someone else. And I don't get a lot of the negativity. I do get like standards, and I think that's where the problem really lies. I know a lot of people, myself included, call people out for certain things, but in the same light, I try to fix those things myself. I try to work on them within myself also. But unfortunately, the way the internet is and the way people are today, I feel like it's a lot of negativity being put out, but nothing really being reciprocated, and like anything positive being done to correct these things. Instead of calling these people out, which they're just doing their best. If you feel like they could have done it better, voice your opinion, but voice it in a way that you're not downplaying somebody, because all you're doing is because you're not going to turn them off to skating, because they skate already. These people have been skating longer than most of the people talking shit. But what you're going to do is outsiders are going to see that, and they're going to see how we treat each other, and they're going to think that they can treat us that way just because we treat each other like that. If we don't care, why would they care? And I see a lot of people saying like that it's changing, and blading has all these outsiders coming in, and like, yeah, isn't that the point? Isn't that how we grow? Isn't that how we move on to doing bigger and better things? Now, at the heart of it, like, we still have our core culture, which is what makes it what it is. But in the same light, like, how are we going to grow and more money and more anything come into the sport if we're not expanding and we're not reaching out to do different things? If you're only focusing on one circle of people, you're not going to get much out of it, because once you impress those people, that's it. Then what's next? And that's why I have a lot of appreciation and respect for all the people out there that are doing things differently and really putting their all into everything. Frankie Morales, John Julio, Billy O'Neill, Lawrence from 50/50, who's running like 50,000 companies. Like, anybody who's really putting in that work. And Long from Oak City, who dedicates his life to really bettering skaters' experiences on blades, man. Like, from just a skate shop point, like, that man will answer any questions you have on sizing, durability, and he's honest, man. He's honest, and that's a rarity. So shout out Long for that, bro. Like, these people go underappreciated in my opinion, and a lot of the people that are saying some of the negative things that they're saying will never lift a finger to do anything positive. So in my opinion, if you're not going to do your part, just stop putting it out, stop putting the negativity out there, because you're not doing anyone a favor. And in the same light, like, I would like to see people have a little bit higher standards and take pride in what they do, but I'm not going to downplay anybody for doing things in the moment. Shit happens. Shit happens. You don't know what that person was going through at that moment or feeling at that moment that they did it that way, but you weren't doing it. So I don't understand why it's such a big deal. That's just my feelings on some of the controversy I've been seeing. I've been being sent a lot of things on this topic, and I don't mind talking about things. I definitely like having debates over shit, but like, I just feel at some point it becomes very like just counterproductive to everything. It becomes just, you're gonna pick at every little thing, and nothing positive is gonna come of it. In my opinion, like I said before, if you feel like, those out there that really love what we do, if you're feeling that competitions, judging, or anything is lacking something, please do something about it. Like, instead of just sitting there typing away, complaining on a post, and doing all this negative shit, do something about it to change it. Everything counts. Just get off your ass and do something instead of just talking. If you feel that certain people aren't skating up to par, encourage them, man. Like, encourage them to do better. Like, you don't have to sit there and baby them, but like, you don't have to down talk them either. Like, encourage it. Encourage to push harder. Lead by example. Like, always look at yourself. If you're talking shit about someone else's skating, look at your skating. Look at what you're doing. And how can you improve that? And how is that going to improve the whole? Big picture, man. Like, I just feel everyone's kind of narrow-minded. I didn't mean for this video to take a negative spin, but it's just this is what's going on, and it's kind of driving me nuts. I don't understand why people are being like that. I don't, and especially I've been around for a long time. I've seen the greatest parts of rollerblading. I've seen the worst parts of rollerblading, and like right now we're kind of stuck in the middle. We have a lot of this cool shit going on, cool collabs, things that are really going to change the game. But then you have a lot of people just holding on to the past and wanting it to be their what they want. And that's great. Everyone has their opinions on what it should be, but like again, if you really are passionate about it and you really feel strongly about certain things, do your part in trying to better those things instead of bring it down. Like, don't tear down the things that other people are trying to build that could be building other things. They could be doing other things, but they're putting their time into rollerblading, and in reality, it's for us. It's not for them. So, do your part. Everyone should do their part. Everyone should do their part in trying to be a little more positive and trying to really keep this thing going. Like, we've been around forever, but it doesn't feel like it to other people. Some people forgot we existed, and I don't want that to continue. That's my personal feelings. I don't want to see that continue. On that note, that's all I really had to say today. It's been a rough week. Since I've been, kind of dealing with a lot with the family, got car problems, got all types of shit going on. So, fell off a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to some things that are coming out. I'm looking forward to seeing what develops with that them collab. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this game plays out and what it's really about. Because it looks dope, looks fun, and a lot of good shit, a lot of different shit going on. I hope everybody has a good day. I hope everybody gets out to go skate, and that's it. Have a good one.